Alright, today we're going to be talking about what I think is a very, very powerful Trinity. This Trinity consists of Mr. Fantastic, She-Hulk, and the newly released Titania. So this isn't really a showcase because I'm not going to necessarily be talking about the fights going on. I'm just going to be talking about what each champion gets from the Trinity and what they bring to the table for the Trinity. So first up is She-Hulk. She-Hulk offers a ton for the Trinity. First of all, she gives Titania the synergy that really helps her out. She also enables the Power Sync synergy for Mr. Fantastic. And the synergy she has with Titania is massive for She-Hulk. You can see right there that we're doing like 10,000 burst damage on every single heavy hit. So that's like 20k per heavy. It is incredible. And she brings so much to the table utility-wise. She has her Petrify, she has her Slow, she has the Taunt, and she just has a ton of damage. Like right there, that was 40 seconds, and the majority of the damage was from the Power Sinks and the Heavy Attack Burst damage. So like, that's why I think she's so good with this synergy, because in shorter matchups, it is the majority of the damage that you're doing, like the Heavy Attack Burst damage. So I feel like it's just really crucial for She-Hulk in a sense, because it really just adds so much damage to her. And the best part is she interacts with the Mr. Fantastic pre-fights as well, because the heavy attack burst damage is based off of the number of debuffs you have. And that's not personal debuffs, it's just any debuff, you know? So if you add on the Mr. Fantastic pre-fights, you get increased heavy attack burst damage there as well. So that's why I think if you're running a She-Hulk oriented team, you want two Mr. Fantastics, because you can do one fight with one Mr. Fantastic, and then that's like 12 pre-fights. That's like enough to carry you throughout an entire X7 lane, for example. So She-Hulk's portion is huge. It is a huge benefit for her, and she brings a lot to the table. Now let's talk about Titania. So Titania, of course, enables She-Hulk to do the massive burst damage on her heavy attack, and she also gets a pretty good benefit herself. So she gets 10 Furies at the start of the matchup, which already makes her do a pretty good amount of damage, and additionally increases her Fury duration by 25%. That's pretty major for her because her Furies are 15 seconds at base, so like with the synergy it becomes 19 seconds, so it's a pretty like good increase for her Fury duration. Additionally, she brings some pretty unique utility to the table. She has a really reliable stagger on her heavy attack, and she's also immune to buffs. She-Hulk and Mr. Fantastic are not immune to buffs. They don't counter nullify or stagger in any way. So she is really, really crucial to the team just because she can deal with like EMP mod, with Buffet, with Power Snack, things like that. And like right here, this is Spite that she's taking right now. So I feel like she is a really, really good character to have on the Trinity, and I feel like she is not dead weight at all. And if you want to run a Titania-oriented team, my suggestion is that you add the champion as a synergy partner, because she pauses her Fury duration and she reduces her Haymaker cooldown by 5 seconds every time she intercepts, which is pretty massive for the character. The Haymaker is another major piece of utility for her. So yeah, that's why I think Titania is pretty crucial on the team as well. This is just another example fight of like Titania's usefulness in the trio. This is an Ebony Maw and Buffet, and she is probably the only one that can take this reliably, just because Ebony Maw has like a really, really annoying thing where he inflicts a Fury buff on you after it's SP1, and he can nullify that, and then you just get degen for a ton of damage, right? So like that is really annoying, and I feel like that's why Titania is most qualified for this, because she doesn't gain any buffs. So it's just things like that, you know, like if there's a really annoying matchup that requires buff immunity or that requires a way to stop triggering buffs, Titania is the way for that. If there is like a really annoying champion that triggers a lot of buffs, Titania is the way for that, because her nullify is much more like potent than Mr. Fantastic's, because Mr. Fantastic's is on its SP1 only, so you have to like sacrifice your damage for that utility, but Titania is on her heavy attack and you don't really have to do like anything special to activate it, you know? So I feel like Titania does bring a lot to the table in this trio, and I'm really happy that she isn't just dead weight. I feel like she's a really solid addition to the game overall, but in this trio, she is much, much better than like her by herself. I feel like she kind of needs this trio in a certain extent, just because it brings so much benefit for her. Like I'll probably do a review for Titania like sometime in the future, but that'd probably be a part of my review, the fact that she kind of does need this trio as a whole, or else she's pretty dry as a character. But yeah, she is a really solid character though, utility wise, so there's that. It pains me to say this, but Mr. Fantastic probably benefits the least from this Trinity. And that's just simply because the only thing he gets is the Power Stings, and the Power Stings are good for him, but in comparison to She-Hulk and Titania's Power Stings, it is just not enough to compete with them. However, he is not dead weight at all because he brings a lot to the table. His Taunt, Stagger, and Petrify are absolutely huge. Mainly the Petrify because the Taunt is done better by She-Hulk and the Stagger is done better by Titania. But he also has Suppression, which is also pretty huge because it just lets him control the fight even more. So he is a utility powerhouse, everyone knows this. I feel like between the three, he's probably the most utility packed character, if not him, then She-Hulk. And that's just why he is absolutely not dead weight. He also enables the Power Sting, so we have to have him on the team anyway, because the synergy for the Power Stings is with him and She-Hulk. He doesn't have any synergy with Titania, however, so that's unfortunate, but he still is a vital member of the Trinity. However, if you're looking for a Mr. Fantastic oriented team, you can add Invisible Woman or any member of the Fantastic Four, to be honest, because they just give him even more power, and unfortunately you cannot fit all three of the other Fantastic Four members on the team if you choose to run a Mr. Fantastic oriented team, but you can fit Invisible Woman, who gives him a massive benefit. And yeah, that closes out that match, and that closes out this video as well. Let me know your thoughts on this Trinity. I feel like it is a really, really powerful Trinity because everything that you want in a science character is covered by these guys. You know, if you need Petrify, you have Mr. Fantastic and you have She-Hulk. If you need a Taunt, you have She-Hulk or Mr. Fantastic. If you need a Nullify, you have Titania or Mr. Fantastic. If you need buff immunity, you have Titania. If you need a slow, you have She-Hulk. All of these characters just come together and they cover literally every single science trope in the game. So I feel like it is a massive, massive Trinity, and I feel like it's incredibly powerful. So yeah, let me know your thoughts, and that's about it for me.